you clap. You have all the rhythm.
We're here.
Welcome to No Comics for Old Men.
No comics for this old man. None. If you see him in the street and he asks you for comics, no comics. No comics for you.
Sadly.
It's,
Special edition. Today.
yeah, it's Doug and Emmett, Haven for Heroes.
Filling in for Ken again.
Yeah.
Ken's off in Vegas playing.
I'm Ken's more youthful ego. His alter ego.
Alter ego.
He drank from the fountain of youth and I'm what popped out. Prettier,
What?
younger, faster, stronger, better in just every way. I'm kidding. I'm
How
kidding.
if you drank the
He's-
Fountain of Youth, do you pop out?
I don't know. That's
You pop?
I don't know. It was some dark magic, man. Ken's the Dark Lord.
He has to give birth to his younger self.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Via chest bursting.
Chest. Oh, all right.
Yeah. I'm a xenomorph. That's what it is. So we're not going to be talking about comics.
Comics.
Today.
No well.
Comic related.
Yeah. MCU.
Infinity Wars. Yeah. Well, it was only one war. Infinity War, singular.
Singular.
WAR.
There is only one.
There is only one. Unless you're DC, in which case you have multiple infinite crises on infinite Earths. Infinite times.
Which Marvel then stole anyway. Yeah. Yeah, there's multiple Marvel Earths. 618 I think is the
616.
616.
616 is the world that we read.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Ultimate Universe, I think, is 236 or 286. Anyway, regardless.
And they even numbered them just like
Yeah.
DC did.
Infinity War.
Yes.
It's happening.
Yeah.
So
He's excited.
he's excited. Yeah. So I just watched it last night,
I watched it for the second time last night.
and
Somebody got a free ticket.
yeah. You act like I couldn't pay for it. I would have paid for it. You literally just
Oh.
paid for it so you could say on camera that you paid for my ticket.
Exactly.
It's not generosity when you remind people you're generous, Trump. I give to the most charities.
Charities.
I've never seen a human...
I give to one charity.
I've never
right here.
I've never seen one person resemble Thanos so much. So anyway, Infinity War. Took my daughter to as well. She's 7. She cried a lot.
Yeah,
but
she was all right about it.
No. She enjoyed, but like she's really empathic. So like when bad things happen, she knows the bad things are happening, and she's sad about it.
Yeah.
So, straight off the bat, the movie doesn't really pull any punches. Like, it's like 5 minutes in when stuff hits the fan. Just
What hits the fan?
stuff hits the fan.
Stuff and things.
Stuff and things hit the fan. They're gonna rubber ducky squeak it out.
Okay. Well, then nobody will know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
So stuff and things happen.
So stuff and things happen. Basically, just this spaceship appears, and I forget which are the Black Order. I think it's Black Maw is the guy that's the magician with the weird face. Anyway, the Black Order of Thanos show up, and they're like, "Hey, rejoice! We're gonna give you mercy. You get to die in the hands of Thanos. Yay!" Meanwhile. Oh wait, no, that's like after the opening scene. All right. Anyway, opening scene. Thor's getting smacked around.
Yeah.
And Loki tries to stop the fighting. He's like, all right, I'll give you the Tesseract because Tesseract has the Mind Stone in it, the Space Stone in it, which we've known for a long time.
For a long time.
And for those of you who don't know, this is going to be the most completely just like uncohesive talk about a movie ever. So. Thanos, big purple
Way to get
guy.
subscribers.
Yeah. So Thanos is a big purple guy. He's got a shiny metal glove that has 6 sockets in it. For those of you who are either World of Warcraft fans or Diablo fans, you know what I'm talking about. For those of you who don't know, they're literally little sockets in the glove that you can put a gem in, and the gems do different things. There's 6 gems.
If you're a Fortnite fan.
If you're a Fortnite fan, you can turn into Thanos,
Yeah.
but PUBG's better. Fortnite's only popular because it's free. So each of the gems do something different. The reality gem can manipulate reality.
No reality. No, he's completely debased.
Time gem can manipulate time. Space, the space gem, the power gem, the soul gem, and the mind gem. And so all of them are basically just like what they say they do, they basically do. It's pretty straightforward. And anybody with the Infinity Gauntlet and all 6 gems can do whatever they want, however they want, because they become a god, essentially.
And so, Thanos has been spending his life
searching down these. Well, he's been spending his life wiping out half of
every
planet's population. Yeah, because he
bring balance to the universe.
Right. He believes that life unchecked destroys itself, and so
almost in a religious manner.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the Black Order is sort of like
they're like his reverends, his
yeah.
preachers, and it kind of his philosophy behind it is very absolute and very generalized. But, like, you almost feel like he makes sense.
Yeah.
Life unchecked destroys itself.
Lawful evil.
No, he's not. I wouldn't say he's lawful evil in D&D terms. I'd say he's lawful neutral because he doesn't take pleasure in it.
Okay, I'd go with that.
He actually takes pleasure in good fights. That's why in the opening scene when, Loki goes to betray Thanos, he goes to stab him, and Thanos is like, yeah, that was a dumb idea. He's like, oh, right, I forgot to tell you something. And he's like, what? And he's like, we have a Hulk. Which is a callback to the first Avengers movie where, Loki's like, I have an army. And Tony Stark's like, well, we have a Hulk.
Yeah.
And so then as he says, we have a Hulk, you don't even get a second to register what Loki just said before you just see a green fist knock Thanos out of frame. And the two of them start duking it out. Hulk finds out that he is no match for him.
Right, but, he should have been more of a match. Depending on...
Thanos is... Alright, so Thanos has stated, with all the times that Thanos and Hulk have fought, the Hulk has never really won. He's beat him up pretty bad, he's just... But for how powerful Thanos is, he's actually said, in canon, that the Hulk is the one being that he will actively avoid a confrontation with.
Right.
Because nobody wants to get punched in the face by that guy.
But he pretty much took it to the Hulk.
Oh, yeah.
Movie.
Yeah.
Pretty easily. It shouldn't have been that easy of a fight, but I get it. We were already going to be there for 2 hours and 45 minutes.
They didn't want to have a knockdown. Because literally, it would have just been in the background of every scene.
Right.
It's just Thor, the Hulk and Thanos just...
Chicken and...
The chicken and Peter Griffin.
Peter Griffin.
Where it takes half the episode just to show the fight. But that's so...
That's kind of what it should have been more like.
But, honestly, they didn't give him a chance, because in the middle of the fight, Heimdall is just like, nope, I'm going to use dark magic and send you away. And he sends Hulk to Earth.
Yeah.
And for the rest of the movie, you don't see the Hulk. You see Bruce Banner, but every time he tries to turn into the Hulk...
says no.
Yeah, he just goes, no.
Not coming out.
No. He got beat so bad, he did not want to get beat so bad.
So my theory is that this is the setup for... the intelligent Hulk, where Banner is control of the Hulk.
And so, it's definitely an easy setup for that. I think that, there's... I don't know how they're going to reconcile that. Because in the comics, what happened was the Hulk created his own personality. And there became a fight between the two.
Right.
And then... he was only Hulk for a while when he was Mr. Fix-It.
Right.
When he was the Grey Hulk.
Right.
And then later on they did it again. They gave him his own personality. And then they split him into two people.
Wow, I don't even remember that one. That couldn't have lasted.
Yeah. Bruce Banner was not the Hulk.
Okay. Well, he has...
Right around the Red Hulk, when Red Hulk emerged. He was like, because, at the beginning of every Red Hulk issue, it was like, let's go over what we know. Bruce Banner is not the Red Hulk. The Hulk is not the Red Hulk. This person's not the Red Hulk. Yeah. So, at one point, Banner and the Hulk had split several points. So, this could be a setup for something like that. It would be really lame.
Have we gone way off?
Anyway, too much time.
The movie.
We've actually talked more about the Hulk than we see the Hulk in the movie. So then flash forward to the Earth. Tony Stark is being Tony Stark. He's just kind of like... being exhilarated at just being his own person now and not having to be Iron Man all the time, and he and Pepper Potts are talking about a baby, and it's just, of course, it's that little sappy moment that we have to connect with the person because they're people, not just heroes. And then more stuff hits the fan. Then the ship appears out of nowhere, and then those people show up and they do that thing where they're like, "Oh, we're gonna give you mercy. You get to die at the hands of Thanos."
I really love how, Tony Stark meets up with Doctor Strange, and then the ship is coming, and who sees it at the same time but Spider-Man.
Yeah.
On the school bus. It's the little comedic bit with his buddy.
Yeah, he goes,
Like,
he goes,
cause
he
a
goes,
diversion.
he goes, make a distraction, and without a moment's notice, he goes, we're all gonna die, and he runs to the back, and everybody piles up, and he jumps out the window.
Peter Parker jumps out.
Yeah, well, Peter Parker.
The other kid couldn't.
The other guy couldn't fit
out the window.
So while all this is going on, Tony Stark and Doctor Strange are totally having, an ego match, and they're just bickering, and then, they see all the people running and screaming, and then they go outside, and then, so everybody joins up basically and starts fighting this Black Order, and they're not going well.
Not going well.
Not going well. They're getting smacked around. And so they try to hitch a ride into the spaceship until they realize that it's flying out of the atmosphere and they can't breathe. And so
the only thing, when the Doctor Strange buddy there,
Wong,
when he chops the arm off of that guy, later on he has his arm.
No, he didn't have his arm. That was a metal arm.
Oh, he had a metal arm?
He had like a cybernetic arm.
I tried to look for that. I didn't see it.
Yeah,
So
no,
it's
that's not his actual hand.
All right.
Yeah, so like basically while they're fighting, Doctor Strange kicks him through a portal to Iceland or Antarctica or something like that. And then like as he's running to get back through the portal, he closes the portal, cutting his arm off.
Wong does, yeah.
Wong closes the portal, yeah. So
and I'm like, well, why didn't they just keep doing that, making portals, cutting them in half? I mean,
it's anticlimactic.
Right.
It's the same argument with Superman. Why doesn't Superman just throw every villain into the sun? Can literally do that with everybody. Just oh, another one.
Well,
Here
not
you
General
go.
Zod, because General Zod can fly. So it's
General Zod can't fly in yellow sun. He can only fly in red sun.
Red sun. Yeah, that's right. All right.
Yeah. So anyway, so then
Movie Zod can fly. The original movie Zod can fly.
Yeah. So as Peter Parker's trying to hold on to the spaceship while it's flying away, and Stark's trying to get there, Stark tells Friday, his new Jarvis, basically, to launch Pod 17. And we've been waiting a long time to see this. Pod hits Peter Parker, and
In the back.
boom, Iron Spider suit, and
Phenomenal, and it isn't the crappy red brass one.
you didn't like that costume?
From the comic
Yeah.
book? No.
Oh, I loved it. It was great.
No, red and gold.
We're gonna put a picture here. It was great. It was wonderful.
Horrible. Horrible.
Yeah.
They went with the red and
And gold like Iron Man,
Yeah.
which made sense because it was during Civil War. Read the comic.
Yeah.
So no, it was like a super high tech version of the costume he already had, which was already pretty high tech anyway. So and then Stark pokes his chest and triggers a parachute and throws him off. But he somehow still clung on. But anyway, so we get to see the Iron Spider suit do Iron Spider things. Like we see the four arms come out of it and hold on to something, and he uses it to slow his fall.
you do get to see how awesome Spider-Man actually is.
Yeah, he gets a lot more face time
Like
than he did in Civil War.
Right, that, and he also, like, the guy who's kicking everybody's rear, the big guy from the Black Order,
Oh yeah.
he catches his punch, like, before he's about to trounce Tony Stark, Iron Man,
Yeah.
and Spider-Man catches full force.
Yeah. He catches his fist like midair. It's just like,
Yeah.
nah, this thing, no. And which is pretty funny because,
He's tiny.
He's 16 and Tom Holland's like 5'4". So it's just this tiny guy. But then you remember that in the comics, when they made him, he had the strength of a spider if a spider was his size.
Right.
Which if a
is
spider...
insane.
spiders have some very large number times their,
Their
some
size.
crazy strength based on their size. So
Like ants.
yeah. So and actually, Spider-Man has to actively pull his punches when he's fighting normal street thugs.
Yep.
Because otherwise, he'd just obliterate them.
Yeah, they also
Turn 'em into red
explain
mist.
why
Hawkeye
Hawkeye
wasn't in the movie.
and what's his name? Ant-Man.
Ant-Man. Yeah, I'm of the mind that technically no one was in the movie, but we'll get there. So
Well, we'll see. I don't believe that to be true. I just believe that he didn't kill. Not like when going to a planet in the finality of actually killing everyone, using the gauntlet. just
We'll get
blinks them out of reality.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. So,
how long are these people going to watch this? We'll get there. We got to get there.
we're gonna get there. So crazy stuff happens.
More crazy stuff.
More
happens.
crazy stuff happens. Thor's really sad for a while until he gets a new toy, Stormbreaker, with the help of Groot, who's Teen Groot, who was voiced by Vin Diesel, and then he.
Which is probably one of the most awesome parts of it. I mean, it's not canon from the comics, but
Groot like
uses,
the whole movie while you're watching Groot's a teen now, because if you remember in Guardians of the Galaxy 1 in Guardians of the Galaxy 1, Groot dies, but there's Baby Groot, and then Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Baby Groot is throughout the entire movie.
And then
so in Infinity War he's a
teenager.
toddler. Now he's a teenager, and he's a dick.
Like,
just
Groot
plays
video games and says foul things.
Yeah, hey Groot, put down your game, and he's like, I'm Groot, and they're like, hey, watch your language. So
yeah, there's a lot of funny
yeah,
bits.
and Thor actually can speak Groot.
Yeah,
so
it was an elective.
It was an elective in
Asgard.
Guardian Academy.
Yeah.
So Thor's really sad. Star-Lord hates him.
Yeah.
He's like,
because he's so pretty.
Because he's so pretty. He's like, he's not that handsome or muscular. And then, like, at one point, like, he deepens his voice to like, Drax the Destroyer is like, hey, you're copying his voice. You're making your voice deep like his. You are challenged by his masculinity. You look like you don't work out. His muscles look like every one of them is made out of an accordion fiber or something like that. They just are all remarking on how pretty and muscular he is. Yeah. And Star-Lord's feeling very emasculated.
And Gamora says, I think his muscles are
made out of steel or something like that.
Some kind of unbelievable steel, like cosmic steel or something.
Yeah, and he's just like, I don't.
That's it. I'm getting a Bowflex.
Yeah. He's like, you know what? I'm hearing your input. I'm gonna get a Bowflex. I'm gonna commit.
I'm gonna commit. Yeah.
So.
Which one is it that says he's a sandwich away from fat? It's
Drax.
Drax?
It's Drax.
I thought that was Rocket. But.
Might have been Rocket. I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway,
it's a good burn.
It's a really good burn. So they're really great comedic relief from all the tragedy that happens in between and all around it. Thor gets another eye, so now he has the David Bowie going on. Rocket Raccoon gives him one.
It's gotta be.
It's Vorax.
Oh yeah.
It's Vorax's eye. The eye that he wanted in Guardians of the Galaxy 1, he got it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why he said no. I didn't steal it. I won first grade, and then I snuck into his room and I stole it. And so
you might not want to put it in there right away. I had to smuggle that in my.
And then as he's saying, I had to smuggle it up. My pops in his. It's too late. Too late. So Thor's got a brown eye now, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
So then that happens, and then Groot helps him get his new axe, and then from there, Thor shows up to the fight in Wakanda.
And Rex.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
There were a few parts of the movie that made me go like, whoa! But like when Thor shows up and just like flies through the sky and just wham hits the ground and blows up an entire field of these guys. And then he throws his axe and
keeps knocking guys.
It just over. It's throwing lightning bolts out as it's spinning. It's just.
It's great. It's great. It's a great re-entry into the having somebody fight it coming to the end.
I think that's the coolest Thor has ever been.
Yeah.
Like hands down the coolest. Then Thanos.
That happens in Wakanda.
He
didn't already go.
Yeah. I said he joins the fight in Wakanda because.
Yeah, they're in Wakanda to try to save the Vision. They're trying to
blow up the mind gem.
They're trying to remove the mind gem
and then blow it up. Doesn't work. Thanos shows up. He's got all the stones except for the Mind Stone. He he smacks everybody around.
Then we get to see how powerful the Scarlet Witch is.
Yeah.
Probably the most powerful.
Meat being. Yeah. So she is holding Thanos off with one hand as he's approaching the Vision. And she's trying to destroy the mind gem with the other.
Which she successfully
does. She blows it to pieces, which nukes Wakanda. And then it just pauses for a second. And then you see Thanos, it all rewinds. And Thanos is standing there, and everybody's standing there, and the Vision's gone. He goes, nope. How about this? And then he reaches up, and green energy from the mind gem, the time gem, appears, and then he just
literally
turns the clock back by twisting his hand counterclockwise. and rewinds time just for the Vision, and then just snaps the gem out of his head,
Right.
which rips all the circuitry out and kills the Vision like that.
Yeah.
So
Vision goes black.
Yeah, Vision goes gray. Like all of the color
It's
in him,
charcoal. Yeah.
all of the color is completely mute to nothing.
There was a time in the comics where he was white
Yes.
without the gem.
I don't think the gem was part of his conception. I don't think that it was actually part of him.
We'll have to look. I actually think it was.
So long story short, now Thanos has all the gems. Then everybody kept saying about how everybody kept making the motion in the movie when they were talking about it, like the snap of his finger, he can do all these sort of things. And so,
Thor.
Yeah, Thor.
Buries Stormbreaker.
Yeah,
in his
buries
chest.
Stormbreaker in his chest, and Thanos is like, oh, and he's trying to say something.
Oh, it looks like he's gonna
He's gonna kick the bucket. Like
Right.
it almost like he actually almost dies. I'm pretty sure that like it was with his dying breath that he did that. But like his last words are he should have gone for the head. And then he snaps his fingers, and then everything goes white for a minute, and then Thanos is transported to a place where there's a little Gamora, which by the way he had to kill Gamora to get the Soul Stone. Just watch a movie.
If you haven't seen it by now, by the time you see this,
you probably already turned off our video.
You're screaming spoiler! You're running around your room. You're calling your mom out of your basement.
Mom! The guys from Haven for Heroes spoiled Infinity War! All 37 of their subscribers are upset! Siled it! Yeah. I actually read a list of like the 15 most disliked videos on YouTube, and surprisingly we haven't gotten on there yet, but I think this might this might
If it was 2 weeks earlier,
let's get 8.9 million dislikes on this video. I want 8.9 million dislikes on this video, because then we'll beat Justin Bieber's music video for Baby. Swear to God, #1 most disliked video on YouTube. We can beat it. Haven for Heroes, no comics for old men, Infinity War episode. Just go do it. So, the movie ends with basically most of the team disintegrating into dust.
Yeah. It's not like a horrible death.
No, they crumble into dust.
They just turn to dust.
They have no idea what's going on, and then they just...
Right.
And I think the most heartbreaking thing is that, like, I believe that part of it has to do with, like, their willpower, because everybody else just was like that. It was just, like, real quick, they just went away.
I think it's already... Well, the next one is already written. They had already figured out the arc. They know who they wanted. I was upset by... There's 2 characters that are in it that are the last of their kind, Mantis and Drax, and they both disappear. So if he kills half of everybody, and they're the only one left...
He wants balance. Being the last of your kind is not balance.
It is absolutely balanced.
No,
Instead of 2, there's 1.
Okay, right. That's not balanced. Even is balanced. 1 is an odd number.
Right.
Boom!
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So, Spider-Man is the one who hangs on the longest. You know, he goes, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. And then, like...
It takes him a while to go away.
Yeah. That was pretty heartbreaking, because, like, one, Tom Holland's a great actor, and this iteration of Spider-Man is the most relatable and the most lovable. And, you know...
And then there's a Spider-Man movie coming out at the end of the year.
Yeah, we'll see.
Is it the end of the year or beginning of next year?
I don't know.
I think it's the end of the year. I think it's the Christmas movie.
I think that's why he's not in Venom. So...
Venom is not even part of the MCU. I don't care.
They say that. But anyway, so my theory... Because movie ends after that, by the way. Spoiler alert. Everyone dies. Fade to black.
Not everybody.
90% of people just... Boom, they're dead. And then they just fade to black. That's how the movie ends. Yeah. Is they just ram all these feelings down your throat and then end the movie and leave you to sort it out yourself. Like,
and then the final scene after.
The final scene afterwards.
And you know, Marvel, you don't have to wait till the last credit rolls.
You can cut midway through the credits. It was like 7 minutes of credits in the biggest movie in 10 years. With how many people you had work on that movie, spare us. It was like 15 minutes of credits. I was holding my pee.
I left and went to the bathroom because I'm an old man. And by the time I came back, I still waited 5 minutes to see it.
They went to like 7 countries, so they had to thank the governments of all 7 of those countries. They had to thank everybody that worked for them in all 7 of those countries. It was just just straight up 15 minutes of every person that touched that movie.
Yeah.
Thanks to our the barista
For less than 5-minute clip too. Like
yeah, it was like a
3 minute.
3 minute clip. Yeah, How I Met Your Mother. Robin and Maria Hill. So Maria Hill and Sergeant and Fury are in a car, and you know,
Agent Fury,
and
not
Agent
Sergeant
Fury, Agent Fury.
anymore.
So Agent Fury and Agent Hill,
The
Director
Ultimate
Hill,
Universe,
whatever.
yeah.
So
The
so they're
Ultimate Universe.
who fucking cares? They're in the car and they're driving. And they're like, oh, they're just talking about some stuff, and then a car swerves in front of them, and there's nobody in the car. And that's because while this is going on, Thanos had already snapped his fingers. So they start looking around, everybody starts disintegrating, and he's like, you need to call, and then she just disintegrates. And then he's like, oh no, and then he hits a button, and he disintegrates, and the button says sending, sending, and then it just shows like the Captain Marvel
Symbol.
insignia and the bit of the thing. Before he hit sending, when he went running, I thought that the thing that he had in his hand was him activating an LMD, a life model decoy,
Yeah,
which like Nick Fury is infamous for using. Like, he never shows up anywhere himself. He sends an LMD, and you know. So my theory on the movie is that nobody's dead; they're all in the Soul Stone.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know if in the soul. Yeah, that's been in the comics before. So in the Soul Stone, I guess. I mean, I'm good with that. I mean, it's,
Or maybe
it's a lot of souls to be holding in that stone. But
or
it
maybe
is one
like
of the original 6 gems of you know, at the Big Bang.
well,
elements of the world.
what if every part of a person is in a different part of the gem? So like somebody's mind is in the mind gem, somebody's soul is in the soul stone. Like they're all because like where are you gonna put someone's time?
Well,
Where are you gonna put somebody's power?
Well, here's the thing: is I just think that in the Power Gem, but I think they're just the reality that they existed is gone.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So then all you have to do is bring back that reality, and then they'll all be back.
Yeah. Also,
And maybe you can reach into that other reality and take them out of it.
Yeah. Also,
Maybe that's where
something
Captain
of
Marvel
note
can do.
is after he snaps his fingers, the gauntlet that had been shiny and super bright and beautiful, you only see it for like a split second, because
And
then
it's
afterwards it
destroyed.
fast forwards. It looks like a grenade went off inside of it.
Yeah.
It's like torn apart, it's blackened, it's got pieces missing. The gems look like they're barely sitting in their sockets. So I have a partial theory that it didn't work. At least not the way that he thinks it did.
Oh,
like
yeah, maybe.
like that, like they're not dead, that they're just.
Then we got to give big ups to Mr. Dinklage for having a great sense of humor.
Yeah, playing a giant dwarf.
Playing a dwarf who is just the largest
Yeah.
thing.
And he was almost Shakespearean.
Yeah.
Like, he spoke very proper. His accent was very exaggerated, which is interesting because in the comics, anytime you meet anybody from Thor's like circle, like anybody from Asgard, Asgard, Niflheim, any of these places, their speech bubbles, their speech balloons. Their speech balloons. The letters that they use are all just like Thor's. They look like Norse or Old English letters. Forget the name for the font. It's slipping my mind. But so I believe that translated into the movie because Thor speaks very overly proper and very like, I am Odin, Thor, Odin's son. I am the mightiest fighter of all, and I will defeat all evils before me. So stuff like that happens, and then everybody that he, from his realm talks like that as well.
Yeah.
Which is what Peter Dinklage's character does.
Yeah. No, I think he did it. And great sense of humor to be able to go out there. Yeah.
But your hands are mine.
Yeah. That was pretty.
It was great.
It was really great.
It was really great. So go watch the movie.
Stormbringer's in it.
Stormbreaker. Beta Ray Bill's hammer.
Beta Ray Bill's hammer. But we didn't get to see Beta Ray Bill.
And also the hammer keeps changing size. Did you notice that through the movie?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah. When he initially grabs it, it's like it's pretty big, but it's like a lumberjack's axe. Like, it's a two-handed axe with like a really big head. but when he throws it into Thanos, like, he can't get his hand around the haft.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was like a special effects mix-up, but like that axe was way too large for Thor's hand.
Yeah. Lastly, movie was good. Movie was really good. I love that it had a lot of surprises. The first time I seen it, I was really surprised by a lot of it. I didn't think they would get rid of a lot of the people they got rid of.
The whole movie made sense. That's like the biggest thing that I look for whenever I go to movies are things that don't make sense.
Plot holes.
Not just plot holes, but just like character holes. Just like you make a character out to be a certain way and then they don't act like that because it fits the plot. So I guess it's a plot hole. There's a point where they're all fighting Thanos.
I'm writing that down.
Yeah. So there's a point where they're all fighting Thanos.
Put the minutes down, right?
There's a point where they're fighting Thanos and they almost beat him. Like they almost get the gauntlet off of him.
Yeah. There's a lot of like anger online about Star-Lord.
Yeah, because what happens is Mantis is like hypnotizing Thanos. Spider-Man and Iron Man are trying to get the gauntlet off with the help of Doctor Strange.
They're holding his other arm
down. They're holding his other arm down. They're just beating the hell out of him. And then they realize, like, then Mantis starts talking about how he's feeling. He's mourning. He's in anguish. And he's like, wait, you went to Vormir with... Because Nebula's there, and she's like, he went to Vormir with Gamora and came back without it.
Came back with the Soul Stone.
Came back with the Soul Stone. So what he had to do was throw her off a cliff. He had to sacrifice the thing he most loved. And she starts laughing at him because she just thinks he doesn't love anything, and then he gets really sad, he cries, and he throws her off the cliff. So Star-Lord starts, like, putting the pieces together because he's not the brightest bulb in the box. And the plan was almost there. Like, it's coming off of his fingers. It's literally on, like, the tips of his fingers. And he just snaps. He's like, the plan, and he starts pistol whipping Thanos in the face, which, by the way, he shot him and nothing happened, so pistol whipping him makes sense. So
but it knocks Mantis off.
But it knocks Mantis off, and it knocks him out of the hypnotic trance, so like he flings Iron Man and Spider-Man off, he slips the glove back on, and then he just blows everything up. He just like beats everyone up.
Brings
and then
a planet down on
Brings
them.
a planet down on him.
Or a moon.
Yeah, it was a moon. It was a moon. Yeah. What was it Iron Man said? Next time you throw a moon at me, I'm going to kill you, or something like that.
I'm really going to lose it.
I'm really going to lose it, yeah.
Then another sick burn is when Star-Lord says, I'm only half human, and that half is an idiot. Yeah. And you guys are all that?
Oh, yeah.
Not exactly the quote, but it's something like that.
Yeah.
You guys are 100% of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, 50% of me that's an idiot is 100% of you.
Yeah, exactly. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
So
go watch a movie.
Yeah. Come get this sick
coin bank.
Coin bank, man.
He doesn't crumble apart. I promise. The coin bank.
The coin bank.
Oh, Doctor Strange, he's gone.
He's gone.
He's fine.
He's dead. Yeah. So go see that movie.
Go see the movie.
See it a lot.
And
the more we watch these movies, the more we get.
Pieces of the puzzle.
Black Panther was great. You really should see Black Panther before you go see it. It helps. You don't have to, but it helps.
Yeah, I have to go. I'm gonna watch Black Panther tonight, and then I'm gonna get my hands on Ragnarok and watch that as well. And then get your pink ponies ready. Deadpool's coming out soon.
Yep.
We'll review that, I guess, too.
Sure. The next time Ken's not here, we'll do another movie.
Sure.
We'll get your comics in. Don't worry. Thanos
somewhere
commands it.
Thanos demands your silence. That was a pretty good.
Keep reading comics.
That was a pretty good social media effort, by the way. Like Thanos demands your silence for the no spoilers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So then for Deadpool put out a letter that said something about not. He put out a letter basically shaming all spoiler people who like post spoilers, and he's like, "Don't ruin it. Don't be that guy." Hashtag Deadpool demands your sandwiches. Damn it, sorry, I meant silence. So.
Autocorrect.
Yep. Keep watching movies. Keep reading comics. 3436 Front Street, Port Jervis, New York. Viking.
Share. Lots
sure.
of share.
Share.
Sharing is beautiful.
Yeah. See, if Thanos had just shared the gauntlet, I don't think anybody would have had a problem with that.
Share.
Share.
See, he could like wipe half out,
And then he
the
hands it
person
to, and then they bring him back,
back.
and then the other person wipes the other half out, and then the other person makes a new half instead of bringing the old half back, and then Star-Lord brings back the original half because that's math. So it'd be 150% people because that's 50% better. He
Yeah.
would say that's 50% better.
Well, if you could duplicate everyone, then when he snapped his fingers, it would be half. It would be the whole, the original whole.
That would be genius.
That'd be genius. Maybe that's what they did.
No.
That's not what
They're all in the Ultimate Universe. No, they're all trapped in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man universe. They're all forced to be campy, shitty versions of themselves. All run by Avi Arad, who doesn't know what he's doing.
Venom dance.
The
They're
black.
all forced to do.
Yeah,
Venom.
they're all forced
It's
to do the black
Venomized-
Spider-Man dance.
It is the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man Venomized world where everybody has to do
Everybody dances like that.
the mean, angry street dance.